We're here on a special Jersey baseball show talking to the 2021 Santee Guyon Atlantic Collegiate Baseball League MVP, and it's our Chase Conklin for the Trenton Generals, leading the Gens to the championship for the second time in history, first time since 2014. And congrats, Chase.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Of course. What's all this mean to you? You had the chance to read up a little bit about Santee and what kind of person he was like and why the award was named in his honor. But just playing with the guys, leading the team to the championship, being recognized by the league managers and coaches unanimously. Just talk about that being the honor that it is.
Like I said before, like the coaches and you and everyone that was in charge, it got to the point in the year where it was almost like a drag. Going to the field, we were losing a lot of games we should have won. A lot of miscommunication between everyone, really. I didn't think everyone was on the same page as winning program, and then we kind of reeled it back in. We had moments in the dugout where we took accountability of other people's actions, and we talked to them. We brought them aside. We took accountability, and then we had a big loss, and Kevin kind of set us straight. Jeremy kind of set us straight. It's baseball. We can't go out there and win every game, but we stuck together as a team, and I can't be prouder of these guys. I wouldn't have won MVP, or we wouldn't have won without them. I could only do so much, but it got to a point in the year where I thought I had to do a lot more to help us win after seeing a lot of losing games. And, one thing led to another. People got on base for me. I drove in a lot of key runs at the end, and, it's a humbling game. Probably the most humbling game you're going to play. And, you go from a lot of ups and downs, especially in the beginning of the year. I just need to warm up and see a lot of at-bats, see a lot of pitches, and then get my groove. And, I settled in, and, at the end, my guys performed in front of me very well. And, I couldn't do it without them. It's a family thing, and, we're going to be brothers for life. So it's pretty special.
It's just kind of the nature of the game, right? When you play so much in such a short amount of time, but the whole process of, you didn't know a lot of you kind of knew who some of the guys were, but just kind of getting to know the guys better, and what makes people click, and stuff like that. That's always been important to you, hasn't it? Just kind of bringing out the best in a team that you're on.
Yeah, and you win games when you're closest with your teammates, off the field and on the field. My job in the beginning of the year, what I wanted to do was, get a chance to have everyone individually, talk to them, and, really get to know them personally, just because we're going to be with each other for 3 months out of the summer. And, it's the summer's hard. Like Kevin said, it's not easy. You go all year. It's a long year, long COVID year. Mentally, it was exhausting. And you get there, you kind of you don't want to take it for granted, just because, half of these guys don't have a lot of baseball left. So I got together with Juice and Paul. We talked a lot. We were the closest all beginning of the year, all end of the year. It was a very, very humbling game for all of us, I think. And then about a couple games in, I texted Greg. I was like, hey, I'm heading up to the field early to hit. And he was like, I'm already up here. He was like, I'm hitting in the cage. If you want to come join. And I think we hit one round of soft toss and one round of tee work. And we basically chilled on the side and just talked, getting to know my guys and, the guys I'm going to be battling with day in and day out. And then, Murph came along after his World Series run, and, he's, like everyone says, he's 22 but acts like a child. Everyone knows that. But I feel like I'm the bigger brother in that situation. even though he's 6'7". But it's it was definitely something that I needed to do just so I could, get to know these guys better, and we could build a relationship on the field so we could, produce together. You know what I mean?
And everybody, there were moments, but everybody really kind of bought in, and the last couple weeks, everybody really pulled together, and just there was nothing that was gonna stop you guys from winning the championship.
No, and we had a lot of ups and downs. You know that games we should have won, games doubleheaders we were splitting, but
Mhm.
doubleheaders are the worst. The hardest part of baseball. It's hard to beat a team twice in the same day, let alone 3 times in 2 days.
Especially
Um,
especially in this league, you
yeah,
know.
and you got talent from all over, and they're all D1 or guys that should be in D1 that are in lower tiers just because they're playing. And it kind of shows schools that it don't matter where you're at, D1, D3, D2, JUCO. Like, if you're a baller, you're gonna play. You're gonna ball out every day. And you know Murphy shouldn't be where he is. We all know that. Paul shouldn't be where he is. We got guys all over that should not be where they're at.
Yep.
But they stick to the plan. They trust. They're playing. They love it that much to sacrifice something that small or that big, to be honest, uh, um,
How,
just to compete.
yeah, how cool was it for you to see somebody like Paul Cook just kind of break out of that like D3 label and just be not just awesome on the field, but that high energy and fearless and be a great lead, another great leader, and kind of just bring guys along with him.
It was insane. Especially me and him. I think we had the slowest starts, and as soon as we got around that 10 game mark, we kind of hung out the one day. We were like, all right, let's kick it into gear. We got to put these teams away early, and then we got to make the plays in defensively to put them away late. But down the stretch, he is one of the best baseball players I'll ever play with. Probably the best outfielder that I've ever played with. Um, he should not be where he is. We all know that, but he's a baller, and he don't care if he's D1, D2, D3, JUCO. So in his case, D3, and he just comes to the field every day, positive energy. And we were on the bench championship game, and he kept coming down to me. He's like, I need 3 more, because I came up to him every playoff game, and I was like, hey, and he saw me. I was beat. We all know that my body was killing me. Um, and he was like, I need 3 more out of you, 3 more innings. I was like, all right, let's get it done. And the only ball I see all year, he breaks on it wrong, it beats him. Then he comes back and makes 2 plays back to back. Saves a big inning. So I mean, I could never. He's older than me, but sometimes I feel like when I was the captain and leader of this team, he was right there next to me. It's he's a really good dude, and he'll be one of my best friends for life.
Absolutely. Leadership's always been important to you. Where does that come from? I mean, and because I'd love to be able to just take that and put it into so many, other people, but that's got to come from mom and dad somehow, and or all the great coaches you've played for, or is that something that's just inside of you? Like, I mean, I'm fond of saying you don't have an off switch.
Um, no, I do not, and sometimes that comes back to hurt me. We saw, yes, it's summer league, but it's kind of a proving year for me. Uh, I had to prove that I could play at this level, and I think I have. I just got to translate it over, but um, yeah, it was when I was younger, I was always playing up. I always played. I was an 8-year-old playing on a 10-year-old team for Brooklyn because they didn't have an 8-year-old team. And you know, Snake Mondau came up to my dad one day and was like, "Hey, I don't know why he's playing outfield. He's the best second baseman on his team." And I just think I'm an 8-year-old playing on a 10-year-old team. They're all bigger than me, and I had no right being there. And he trusted me and put me out there, and I just kind of had to lead by example. I'm not the biggest guy. We all know that. Not the strongest guy, but I think I have the best IQ, and I've seen a lot of good teams. I've been on a lot of good teams. Yeah, there was Beans, Nicky Dell, Trope, Scans. I've been on every team, and all the guys kind of look up to me, which is weird, being the smallest guy on the field every time. But I think they look up to me to be a leader, and tell them what we need to do to win. And just because of my experience in the past, and I think I saw that my sophomore year. We lost Sky Duff because he went to Pitt, and I was playing second, short outfield, Matty O, Johnny, Guz, we were all out there. We had a scrimmage game in Williamstown, and something happened on the bus. Somebody threw something out a window. Trip was all mad. I got off the bus. He pulled me aside, like screaming at me. I didn't do anything wrong. He's screaming at me. He's like, "Take over the team like Sky did." I was like, ever since then, it was just kind of my responsibility on every team I played with. So, I'll take on that responsibility. I love my guys. Even if we don't get along, we're still brothers. We fight, and it's awesome.
Family's huge to you, obviously, and you have the ability to kind of make this team. The team is your family, real quick, and that was something that was pretty noticeable. First of all, just kind of explain your feelings on that, and then being able to play this summer in front of your own family. Going from really 2020 high school, supposed to be senior giant year, basically almost getting all wiped out except for the last dance. 2021 college not going exactly like you hope for a lot of reasons. I mean, it's just tough on freshmen in a COVID year, but to be able to come home and, not just make the team your family, but also play in front of your actual family, I'm sure meant a lot.
Yeah. I mean, definitely. We kind of talked as a family when Coach Mulberg asked where I wanted to play. And, you don't have any stats, so it's hard to play somewhere big. So we kind of decided mutually, like, hey, if you want to stay home and, it's a far drive every day to games, but it's something you haven't done before. So we decided again on the team, as a team standpoint, hey, if we're going to be brothers we're going to be with each other every day. So why not be the closest we can try to be? And, next year, hopefully it's the same way. We'll see what the options are, but I think I'm going to come back to ACBL and play with the Kings. So I'm excited for that. We got a jump started already. I got around 6-7 guys that we have so far. So we're definitely in the recruiting process. We're getting a coach. We got a field, so we're doing everything right.
Not everybody knows what the Kings are, so maybe you want to explain that a little bit better.
And basically it's just we're playing out of the ACBL. Generals are going to stay the Generals. I'll always be a Gen, but for commuting purposes, I think it was the smarter move to we're gonna make a team down here playing the ACBL. It's gonna be full of college guys who want to ball, dedicated guys. South Jersey has a lot of talent, and we got to showcase it. So
yeah,
I'm really happy for it.
Yeah, this kind of came out of our conversations of how much you love all the travel that we were doing, and certainly up to North Jersey, and it really is to the point where we just have so many good guys that we want to accommodate and do it the best that we can for. Coming making that ride from South Jersey, whether it was you or Murph, the half the time he was coming from South, or Dylan Maria or Joey Sheets, guys like that were just making that crazy drive just for the home games, let alone the road games.
It was kind of crazy.
makes a lot more sense to have one team in South Jersey and one team in Trenton rather than two in Trenton.
Yeah, and the Capitals had a lot of South Jersey guys as well, so it was
Yeah,
it's a lot of miles up to
yeah.
Moody every day. But I would never trade it for the world. But
No, but
it's
that doesn't mean we have to do it again in 2022 either.
no, it does not. And a lot of the times you regret those trips because you're driving up there for a 2.5 hour game, and then you got another game on top of it. It's it's a grind, and you're not bussing. You're driving that either with somebody or you're alone. So it'll be fun staying here. Staying in South Jersey, 10 minutes from the game. I get more sleep, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, a little bit, both in the morning and at night. Only thing good about those rides were some of those. I don't even know if they were good. Those phone calls, most of which were probably kept either me or you finding a bridge to drive off of after some of the games.
Yeah, some of them were pretty bad, but it was all worth it.
It's what came out of it that was important, I think.
Yep.
So you're leaving for school this weekend.
Yep.
Right? What are you most excited about heading into going back to school, but also B, for a season, 2022, really hopefully your first chance to shine, show the A10 what we know, what Brooklawn knows, what South Jersey knows, that you're on a team, you're playing, you win. It is. That's just because you won't have it any other way.
No, and it's a little bit of it's a little bit of pressure, going back to school, after a great summer. I'm bringing a lot of things back, but I think a lot of the guys, kind of as a young sophomore, they kind of have a chance to, throw some things off me freshman wise. Me and Jared Spraglott and Josh, we talk every day. It's a lot of the upperclassmen, kind of look at me and be like, hey, that's exactly what we needed out of you. You need to prove yourself at this level, and you did. So I'm so ecstatic to get down there, see the grad guys, especially, get to know them a little bit better, instead of just texting back and forth. But yeah, I can't wait to get down and get started.
You mentioned one of the grad guys, Winston Allen, our Jersey Pilots rival. Certainly the front runner for League Pitcher of the Year, which gets announced tomorrow. A little bit, talk about what you learned or know from him and your chances to connect with him, during the season, and also at the All-Star game.
So basically, we did not know each other until the All-Star game. I just found out that he was going there. I didn't get to play in the one game that he pitched against us. That was my off day, so I took it, and we ended up coming back and winning after he got taken out. But he's a hard pitcher. He's hard to pitcher against, and after the game, he texted me. He said, "Hey, what are you looking for up there?" And I hit him pretty well. I flew out to the warning track, and I grounded first. We kind of just looked at each other and smiled. Like, he was I think he was kind of thinking, like, if this is what it's going to be like all fall, it's going to be brutal. And I was like, yeah, I got lucky with that one. But, and then next one, I walk, and then, I barreled him up. I just line drive right at somebody, and he talked to me. He was like, hey, what are you thinking up there at the plate? What am I going to throw you? I was like, I kind of know now, seeing as many pitchers as I do, who's going to what pitches they like to throw and what they're effective with. And I knew his changeup. He loves his changeup. So I sat changeup with 2 strikes, and he missed in, and I turned on it. And then I told him, hey, you gotta mix it up a little bit, And the next outing, I think he went 7 innings, no runs scored. So he's a very good pitcher. He changes it up very well. He's not gonna overpower you, but he beats you with his strengths, and his strengths are his off speed, and I'm looking forward to play behind him.
Sure. So ready to go now, right? You're ready to get going. When does fall practice start?
So we're either the 30th or the 1st. Right now it's up in the air with, physicals and stuff like that. So all of us gotta get cleared. But I mean, other than that, I think we're gonna hit the ground running. We gotta get everything done in the classrooms first, and we'll go from there. But we're all pretty much buttoned up. We all have the same goal in mind. We're definitely one this year. We're one unit. And I couldn't be happier. These guys seem like really high quality guys that I want to play with. You want to play with guys that want to play. And I can't wait to get down and meet them. And we get on the field. It's just like we're there so much of the day. It turns into like it's a job.
Sure.
It gets to a point where it's a job, and you can't quit, because you got to do other things too. So it's definitely a grind, but that's why we grind then to experience a regional, win the A10 in the spring. So it's stuff we got to do, and this is the perfect group for it.
Absolutely. Santi Gayon, award winner 2021, first person in the history of the Generals franchise to win that. You feel pretty good, right?
Oh yeah. Especially reading up on him, he's a great dude, and I think I showed pretty well that it meant a lot to me, meant a lot to my family. It's a incredible award you don't really get to do too many times. So it's been awesome.
Other than obviously the clincher and the championship win, favorite memory of the season?
Favorite memory of the season, I'd have to go with Murph's home run or Delgado's home run, because they were just insane moonshots. But
the Quakertown game, I guess you said the Murphs, and then Delgado's. Which one? I mean, the one against the Caps that still hasn't landed, I think.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, but a team one, I would probably say the Pilots game. Because we were down 7-1 going into the 8th.
Yeah.
And we put on 7, and then we put on another 4. So I mean, we kind of looked at each other and we were like, hey, that's I wasn't playing, but I'm still in the dugout. I'm still talking to these guys. We had to turn it on sooner or later.
Either that or what about the game 3 Pilots too? Because that's really at their field. We were the home team, but it was a long drive up there.
Yeah, it was a long drive, long morning, early morning, but it was definitely special just because we were kind of against all odds going up there, being the home team. We were short on pitching. We didn't have all our guys, and it's hard to beat. That we knew it was hard to beat us, because they beat us 2 times that week. We kind of knew it's hard to beat a team 4 times in a week. So, we took our odds. We played our hearts out. Everyone gave it their all, and we were on the same page. I kept telling them, "Hey, stick with me. We need a couple more." And we kept piling on, and we drove one. Had an RBI single, took the lead, and it kind of got dicey there at the end, but we pull it out.
Yeah. Then there was the All-Star game with you and Murph on the video.
I mean, that'll start something new coming next year, but he's a character, probably one of my best friends for life. And he's definitely the little brother, even though he's 6'7", but he's awesome. He has my back in anything I do. And he treats my family like his own. So, and my parents do the same to him. So it's definitely a good relationship. We're going to be grinding all next summer together. When we come back in the winter, I'm going to be grinding at his dad's place. So
Yeah.
we're going to be doing good.
Yeah. It's a great summer.
It was awesome.
Feel like you proved what you had to prove.
Yeah. It got dicey there in the beginning, but I put it together, and I put on a good run, and so did the Gens. So I can't really take all the credit for it. They did everything. They put me in a good spot to succeed, and I did.
Yeah, no, you can't do that. I mean, just think of all the games we had, and whether it was Cart thrown into the seventh in the clinching game against Jersey, or Dylan pitching 6 innings, which he hasn't done in probably 3 years.
He said since high school, he said he hasn't done that. So
yeah, just all the craziness. You don't win a championship without everybody giving more than they think they can. But I think it takes that's why I said whether it was Chase Utley or Darren Dalton and the generation before, or Pete Rose before that, there's always the guy that kind of pulls everybody together and gets them to perform at that max level. On the good teams, it's not the coaches that do that. It's the players who police themselves and hold each other accountable, I think.
Yep, I agree.
So that's today's show with Chase Conklin. As we said, the Santi Gayon MVP of the ACBL, making Generals history, bringing the Generals another title. It's been 7 years, but certainly worth the wait. Fortunately, it hasn't been 7 years for us. It's only been a couple. I don't know that I could do that between titles, but appreciate you and everything you did, obviously, this year. Any final words to everybody before you go off to school?
No, I just want to say thank you to our guys upstairs. They did a great job this year for us. I don't think they got enough credit for what they did, kind of behind the scenes stuff. And thank you, and thank the coaches. You guys did awesome, putting us in a great spot to win. And I just want to say thank you for having me on.
Always our pleasure. Appreciate it, Chase. Have a fantastic day.
Yes, sir. Go Kings.